Hello everybody, kia ora and welcome to this video about the astrology of the week beginning Saturday the 15th of February until Sunday the 23rd of February, except that I'm going to go up to Monday the 24th because that is the day we've got Mars turning direct after 2.5 months retrograde. I'll be talking about that in the video. We've got lots of other stuff coming up in the future, and I'm going to talk about some of those big things happening until April as well. My name is Fiona of Sun and Moon Calendar, and I make calendars for astrology and the astrological events happening. This is the Australian one. I know you can't see it because it's blurry, so I'll put the picture over the top, and this is the New Zealand one. Okay, so the reason it's blurry, a blurry background, is because I am moving house and everything is all over the place. This is one of the really big changes I'm going through in my life, and I expect that a lot of you are going through some really big changes too, because we've got really big astrology happening, especially between recently and up to April. Okay, and I've got 2 words to describe it. I've decided up-leveling, moving. I know that can be judgmental to say that one level is higher than another, but I really feel like I've been having some help to get to a higher place, like work on some old patterns and beliefs that do not help me. And I've been seeing this happen with other people, my friends, other people I've been talking to. The other word I've got for this time is shedding. Letting go of some stuff. And of course I'm doing that because I'm moving house. Man, so much stuff going to recycling and going to the dump, and it's my kids have moved out. I'm shedding. So my kids have moved out. I'm an empty nester. I am appropriately sad and also excited. Shedding, yeah. And other big things happening, and I've seen that. I've got a friend who's just paid off her mortgage. It's like, whoa, moving forward and moving up. So I hope that you've got some fantastic shedding and up-leveling going on in your life that's feeling good. There's a lot of hard stuff going on as well. I know there's a lot of hard stuff, and I hope that's going well for you. Anyway, this week we are going to talk about the upcoming Mars turning direct, but it happens on the following Monday. We've got the last quarter moon. We've got the waning phase. There's not heaps happening this week. It's just all happening after that. So let's look at what is going on. Here we go. Let's talk about the moon phase that we're in. We are in the waning phase of the lunar cycle. We started with the new moon at the end of January, and then the moon was waxing and things were growing, the energy was building through the first quarter moon in early February. And then last week we had the full moon in Leo, which is a playful and expressive and fun sign, but there was a square to Uranus, meaning that there was likely to be disruption and possibly something that was disruptive but awakening and authentic coming into your life, some truth that could have been uncomfortable. Nevertheless, still a good thing. And then on Friday of this coming week, we'll have the closing quarter moon, or that closing square with the sun and the moon, and that is in the sign of Sagittarius. And then we'll be heading towards the new moon in Pisces at the end of February. So always with the moon cycle, it's our basic astrological energy guide. We build an energy with the moon, with our lives, with our projects, and then we wane an energy and we finish things off as the moon comes to a close. And even if you're still doing stuff and you're still busy through that new moon phase, it's a time to hold off from starting new things. But right now, where we're coming down to that last quarter moon, it is the energy is still fairly high until that Friday. There's still a lot of light in the sky. We can be getting lots of things done and reviewing what we started and where we're up to with things. Okay. And here you can see the lunar month laid out in the calendar. This is the New Zealand edition of the calendar. Starting from the 30th of January, we had the new moon, and you can see where it's darker there. And then we build up to the full moon, you can see on the 13th, which we had, and we're coming down now to the third quarter moon, or that last quarter, where the moon appears as a half, and then we'll be going back down to the new moon. You see those red lines on there with every square, reddy orange lines. That represents Mars retrograde. We're nearly at the end of it, and you can see on the 24th, no more red line because Mars will be going direct. Phew, I'm excited about that. The New Zealand edition of the calendar has Aquarius represented by the toroa or albatross. The Australian edition is represented by the wedge-tailed eagle, that's for Aquarius. Both of these birds are great birds that fly high above. They can see everything laid out before them, and with that they can make connections and form grand solutions that help all of us little ants and small creatures crawling around on the earth. Aquarius has that ability to see the bigger picture and to make those connections. And having said that, we are coming to the end of Aquarius season because very shortly the sun will be moving into Pisces. We've already got Mercury in Pisces, and at the next new moon we will have the lunar month of Pisces. But right now we're in that last week of the Aquarius lunar month. Okay. Looking now at this week's aspects and transits one by one. It's an unusual week in that while we always have transits, and that is where the planets are moving through signs, and we've got a couple of ingresses this week, we don't have any major aspects until Friday. And that is quite unusual, and there could be a feeling of quiet about the week where things are just going along. It can be a chance to sort of like take a breather in terms of there might not be as much new stuff happening like hitting us from the outside. On Saturday morning, Friday night, Mercury went into Pisces. Okay, and then on Tuesday the sun enters Pisces, and this means that if you were born with your sun in Pisces, you have your birthday coming up over that next month. And the sun being in Pisces is different than the lunar month of Pisces. The lunar month of Pisces starts with the new moon in Pisces, which is at the end of February. Okay, then so a quiet week through all of that. Okay, a quieter week. Then on the 21st of February, we've got the last quarter moon where the moon is waning and the sun and the moon are at a square to each other. And then on the 21st at the same time, we've got Mercury square to Jupiter. This could give us some energy and some expansiveness and confidence with our communications, our planning, our analysis, and some research. A square energy tends to be tense and challenging, and there could be some obstacles to overcome, but there's a lot of energy and the willingness to take action. And that's partly because Jupiter is about expansion and growth, and Mercury is about action. Mercury likes to do things, but also Jupiter is a benefic, and it has optimism and confidence and luck. And so even with the square aspect, this could be helpful for getting things done and planning, communication, like I said, writing, creating something with words could be a good idea as well. And then on Sunday, the 23rd of February, we have got the North Node and Neptune coming into conjunction. This is the average, the mean North Node, and we've been under it with the true North Node for the last few weeks. So this is a real time of opportunity, new beginnings, in terms of things that feel destined, very creative and imaginative into the spiritual realm, connection with unseen energies. Okay, I'll talk about it a little bit more soon. Okay, and then we've got Mercury trine Mars. I've gone into Monday. The following week, and that is because it's an exciting day because Mars turns direct on Monday. We've had 2.5 months of Mars being retrograde, trying to make progress and pushing forward, and it being stopped, knocked back, blocked. I'll talk about more about that soon. Now let's look at the main things going on. So we had Mercury move into Pisces early on Saturday morning, late on Friday night. That's going to be making us feel more romantic, poetic, and lyrical in our communications and even our planning. And we perhaps can get a little more idealistic, a little more confused. Mercury doesn't do so well in Pisces, but if you want to take the good side of it, we can be really imaginative and creative. The downside of it is more confusion and maybe being misleading with our communication, our words and our messages. So remember to ground in reality and think about trying to bring that rational lens to things if they seem a little bit pie in the sky. We've got so much Pisces energy, nuts with Pisces energy at the moment, because this is an incredibly huge stellium in Pisces that we're in at the moment, and we definitely need to try and be grounded. Fortunately, we've got Saturn and Mercury there, and they are more grounding planets. So just looking there at that stellium in Pisces, this is really, really unusual. Neptune, Saturn, the lunar nodes, the north nodes, the Sun from the 18th. Venus has already been in Pisces and it's now in Aries, but it will be going back into Pisces with its retrograde coming up. Okay, the new moon in Pisces at the end of February, and Mercury in Pisces. It's so yeah, we can be so imaginative. We can be using this energy to visualize a future for the world, a future for ourselves, our personal lives, goodness and charity and universal love for all. That's Pisces energy, like really compassionate, and there can be a selflessness, there can be so much mercy with Pisces and empathy. And, we can be so ungrounded as well. Saturn, of course, like I said, helping us to be grounded. We're on the cusp of Neptune and Saturn moving into the sign of Aries at 0 degrees of Aries, very close to each other on that world axis. That's, a big change in the world. And this is the pregnant pause. This is like the third trimester. We're just about to go into that new world. And it's a really good time to be visualizing and feeling the feelings of what we want to come to our world, to our own lives, to the lives of those we love, which is everyone, of course. Ultimately, we do love everyone, and that's a great Pisces energy, that the way we are all connected in the spiritual realm. We have our separate bodies in the earthly plane, but really we're all connected, and as we are of the earth and all things. And that's that Pisces energy. Lots of flow, imagination, and compassion. Okay, so good luck with the staying grounded. Avoid getting confused and distracted with things that are not real. But yeah, enjoy it as well. Okay, so I've talked a lot. I'm not going to spend too long on this. The North Node comes into conjunction. The mean North Node comes into conjunction with Neptune. Real dreamy time. Destiny. Feeling of destiny. Notice what's happening around this time. It could have clues to an amazing future. Okay. And then we've got the end of Mars retrograde coming up on the Monday. All those things we've been trying to move forward to, and there's been frustrations and blocks that's coming to an end. we will feel more like we can make progress. Yeah, sure, we've got Venus about to go retrograde and then Mercury going to go retrograde, so there's still a whole lot of backwards energy to come, but Mars is a particular planet of strong progress and action, and Mars does not like to be retrograde. We can feel frustrated, and we've had that since the 7th of December. And once Mars turns direct, it will slowly but surely help things to move forward. It will be slow at first because Mars is going to spend a long time on that turning point degree of 17 of Cancer over, like the following 2 weeks still. It's going to be really slowly drilling down on that spot, but then we will slowly but surely move forward. Okay. So looking at all that's happening in Pisces and that build up of energy in that zone of flow, imagination, visualization, creativity, and then whoosh, we get Neptune moving into Aries, Saturn moving into Aries, the personal planets doing their thing in Aries, Venus, Mercury, the Sun, Mercury and Venus going back and forth. Yeah, this Pisces to Aries transition is huge. It's extra huge this year with those big planets there, Neptune and Saturn. Okay, but yeah, I think I'll call this video something like the pregnant pause before the birth, or the moment before birth, something like that, because I feel that is what we're in. Okay, Pisces and Aries, very strong signs for this year. I'm going to look now at the main events coming up over the next few months, because it's a really big time astrologically, especially up to April. It's a huge year this, but a lot of the really big things happening this year happen between now and April. So what are they? Okay, this conjunction that we're under the influence of now, of Neptune conjunct the North Node at 28 degrees of Pisces, that is significant. Neptune is in its home sign of Pisces. The North Node and Neptune only meet every 16 to 18 years, but this is once in a lifetime opportunity for them meeting in the sign of Pisces that is so good at dreaming and visualizing and imagining a future. It hasn't happened since the 1800s, so that is significant. Mars turning direct on the 24th of February. Awesome. Then we've got the new moon in Pisces. We have that every year. That's not unusual, but we don't normally have, and it could have been, I don't know, I need to research it, but it could be hundreds or thousands of years since we've had a configuration like all those planets in Pisces. Okay. On Sunday, the 2nd of March, Venus turns retrogrades, and for the 6 weeks after that, we're going to be reviewing our relationships. This only happens every year and a half, and it's all retrogrades can feel frustrating because it's hard to feel like we're going backwards, but this will be more relationship focused. Also our sense of self-worth, our money, our possessions, what you have and what you feel you want to have and what you feel you deserve to have. All of those will be coming up for review. And also on the more surface level, like beauty and pleasure and aesthetics, we'll be reviewing. We might change our style, for example. And then we're in eclipse season. On the 14th of March, we've got the first eclipse in Virgo for a long time, for 9 years, and that is happening at 23 degrees, or actually 24 degrees of Virgo. And with eclipses, we can have sudden changes of events, things that turn around unexpectedly, that feel kind of karmic or destined. With a lunar eclipse, more likely endings. Then the next day, the very next day, we've got Mercury turning retrograde, and that's at 9 degrees Aries, which I'll talk about in a minute. On Thursday, the 20th of March, we've got the Sun entering Aries, so that is the autumn equinox, and in the Southern Hemisphere, of course, the autumn equinox. If you're listening to astrologers from the Northern Hemisphere, they'll be saying it's the spring equinox, it's the start of everything. And in Western tropical astrology, Aries is seen as the starting point. However, for us, it is the autumn, and there's coming down in energy, of course, with the autumn, because our solar year, of course, goes from midwinter. And in New Zealand, we celebrate Matariki for that. And I'm sure in Australia, there are more people starting to celebrate that midwinter turning point of the year. Anyway, autumn equinox coming up in a month or so. The solar eclipse in Aries, this is the final eclipse on the Aries Libra axis that we've been in eclipses for the last year and a half. This is the last one. Okay, and look at that degree, 9 degrees of Aries. Look at the degree that Mercury turns retrograde, 9 degrees of Aries. And Venus is turning retrograde at 10:50, 11 degrees of Aries. So that part of the sky, that 9 to 11 degrees of Aries, is getting so zhuzhed up, so focused upon by these planetary movements. That's really interesting, I think. And so if you have got any planets or points around about 9 degrees of Aries, or opposite in the sky in Libra, or square in Cancer or Capricorn, you're going to be really feeling stuff happening over those couple of months. Yeah, over that month. It's all quite close together. Okay, and then big news, for the first time in 166 years or so, Neptune will be entering the sign of Aries on the 30th, 31st of March. I'll talk more about that later though. There we go, everyone. That is my video. Lots of big stuff to come. I hope that the up-leveling and the shedding are going well, like that you've got some help and support and some tools to help you through the challenging moments of that. Remember to order your calendar for 2025 if you haven't already done so, from Sun and Moon Calendar, and there's so much information in there, packed with information about the transits, the aspects, and the really big things happening. And you can have it on your wall. You can look up what day it is and then instantly see the part of the lunar cycle you're in, and what aspects are happening that day, and whether you're going to be helped along with what you're doing, and if it's a more challenging one, you can be ready for that. Anyway, have a good week, everyone. Like I said, quieter through the week, and then some bigger stuff happening after that. Hei konara, bye for now.